Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, before we get started, I just want to take a second, say thanks for stopping by, checking out what we have going on here with the news coming from Nintendo today. If this is your first time to the channel, I do invite you to check out some of the other videos that we do have up here on the channel, including a lot of stuff on the Switch, different games, accessories, tutorials, so on and so forth. And if you really like what you see, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do upload new content, you're kept the most informed and up to date. So earlier today, Nintendo announced this guy here. This is the Nintendo Switch Lite. First of all, it would have been kind of fun if they would have called it the Light Switch. I'm a dork, what can I say? But this is coming September 20th for $200 here in the US. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the presentation from Nintendo and kind of pick it apart a little bit because there's some things. Yeah, it's really cool. A $200 Switch, yes! Has a neat design on the Joy Conhas, yes! But it dropped the ball in a lot of different areas, at least in my opinion. Let us take a look at what they presented earlier today. So we're going to kind of scrub through here just to kind of get to the heart of the matter. You know, Nintendo did a really good job kind of hitting home the fact that the Switch has been, you know, such a great device to this point, which it really has been, and they really do need to have kudos. Now, one thing, I'm going to stop right here. If they do not call this banana yellow, they are missing the beat on this one. So here is our first look at the Switch Mini. As you can see, it looks a lot like the Switch proper. You have your analog stick, have a D-pad here versus the separate buttons, ABXY buttons. Looks like that's the home button and your analog stick there. One thing of note, and I have seen a couple other people mention this, all the white on here. This thing is going to be a dirt magnet. So from this look here too, we can see the Joy-Cons are built into the system too. Let us scrub a little bit forward here because I want to take a look at the back here. And here you can see the cartridge slot right up top. The SD card slot down below. On the back we have our, I'm not sure if those are fan vents or speakers or what it is, and I don't know what NOM stands for, but as you can see, the Joy-Cons are one solid unit here and on the back of the system itself. Again, what we kind of expected. We'll hit play again here, kind of continue through this to the front, and here you can see there are 3 different colors coming. You've got the gray, the banana yellow, and this reminds me a lot of the original 3DS color scheme on there. Now continuing on, one of the things you will notice, again, you've got a good look at the D-pad there. Continuing on, all 3 of them, I mean, same exact layout, same buttons and everything. So again, that white button is going to be a dirt magnet on everything. Now, one thing of note here, or a couple things of note, is there are issues with this as far as things that it doesn't do that the original does. First of all, in here where you see people taking their Switches out in public to play, I have never seen that in my life. So we're going to kind of skip ahead past that, because in just a moment we're going to see some of the features that Nintendo kind of outlines that this does not do. Now, here's one thing that I thought was really kind of disingenuous, because I think both these boys kind of look very similar. So here's a boy playing a Switch on his TV, and at first glance I'm like, ooh, it docks! No, it doesn't. So we're going to continue playing this guy here, and now we have another boy that is in the bed and playing, looks like almost the same game. So I thought that was a little bit disingenuous there. Now I'll fast forward just a tick here. And this is, for me, one of the biggest heartbreakers, where I'm okay if this did not include a dock to keep costs down. Totally makes sense. This is designed for mobile gamers. However, it's not that it doesn't include a dock. It's not compatible at all with being hooked up to the TV. At least that's what they're saying. Now, looking at the size comparison, we'll get into that in a little bit here. It wouldn't fit in Nintendo's original dock, but I wonder if like the Nico dock, the Insignia dock, the Charge N Pro dock, the S64 from Hyperkin, if any of those would work with this and allow it then to be connected to your television. Another thing in this video is we don't get any specs whatsoever. Is this the same processor? Is it a different processor? More RAM, less RAM? molar RAM. And coming here to the Joy Cons itself, they point out the D-pad. Now, here's another thing that is missing from this system. There is no IR motion camera. No big deal. I have never used mine. But there's no motion controls or HD rumble either. And HD rumble makes a huge difference. And then on games like Super Mario Odyssey, you can shake your Switch and have Cappy, for example, do some different things. That's just not something that the Switch Lite will do, or the Switch Mini. Official name Switch Lite, of course, but the Switch Lite will not do these things. It is a handheld console. Now, Nintendo has come out and said this is not a replacement for the 3DS. This is a replacement for the 3DS. I mean, let's just be honest about this. It's consolidating their library on one device, or one device capable, or one family of devices. That's probably the best way to say it. And now, looking here, if you look at the size of the yellow one versus the size of the dock here, you can kind of see that your gap from here to here is a little bit narrower than what we're going to have on the dock. So it would have required a different dock if they were to have done it. But now looking here, it's a USB-C port in the exact same place. There was another spot here. Actually, that teal one kind of showed, or here we can see how it has the indentation on the back of the Switch Lite. So will it work with third-party docks? We'll have to see. I can't see them doing custom firmware for something like this that's a variant, but you never know. Nintendo does weird stuff like that. So, and again, you can see it next to the other two colors, and the pricing available $920/2019 for $200. So, man, there's a lot that this system could have done and just doesn't. I'm okay with the consolidated design. I'm okay with the fact that it doesn't have the camera. I'm okay with that. I'm kind of okay with the price point, but not really, and we'll get into that in just a moment. I do love the fact that we have a traditional D-pad here on the left-hand side. The overall layout looks pretty good. It looks to be a little bit larger than the 3DS, maybe Vita size, maybe even a tad bigger, maybe only 20% smaller than an existing Switch. But these are going to be available on $920 for $199.99. Now, in this video, if you are looking to pre-order one, keep an eye on, if you want to help support the channel, we will have an Amazon affiliate link that it doesn't save you anything, but it is one of those things where if you purchase through the link, it actually does help support the channel and doesn't cost you anything to do so. So there you have it. The Nintendo Switch Lite is coming September 20th, 2019 for $200. Does this mean that we are not going to see a price drop for the original Switch? I wouldn't expect one coming before the holidays 2019. Does this mean that we're going to see additional colors beyond these three? Who knows? The one thing that I do know is, for me at least, the math doesn't add up. Here's what I mean. So let's look at the Nintendo Switch Lite. $199, not too terrible. You figure a 3DS was around that same cost for a while. So you take that $199 and you factor in, okay, so there's a dock missing. That's $90. And then you're also missing, what else are you missing? Oh, you're missing the detachable Joy Cons that have the HD rumble, the gyro controls, and the camera. Well, a set of Joy Cons, well, those are about $60 to $70. Well, wait, I'm already well above this $199, and I haven't even added those extra features like the HD rumble and some of the other things that the stock Joy Cons can do. Joy Cons can do. My Wisconsinese came out there just a little bit. I don't even know, as a parent, that I see this as a great purchase or a great value versus just going with the standard Switch. Now, it'll be interesting to see if third-party docks will work with this. If Nintendo is not blocking the dock capability, and it's simply one of those where, looking as narrow as it is, I'll bet you this doesn't fit in a Nintendo dock. But one of the Nyko docks, the Insignia dock, the S64 from Hyperkin, we're going to have to check that out. Does not sound like they've changed anything on the hardware side, and they haven't even really talked about that. Is this the same NVIDIA Tegra processor that's in the original Switch? Does this have more or less RAM? We didn't learn any technical aspects of it. All that we learned pretty much is smaller Switch, portable mode only, fixed Joy-Cons, 3 colors, $200. In a lot of ways, Nintendo is asking us to take a leap of faith, and on this one, that's a pretty big leap for me. But these are just my opinions. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is this something that you've been looking forward to? Did this meet your expectations? Did it not? Like I say, I'm a little on this right now. It is reported to have better battery life than the original Switch, which is a good thing. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you've got any other comments or questions, as always, feel free to send me an email over at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter at RockSolidStudios, Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions, and over on our Instagram page at instagram.com/RockSolidProductions. Now, one thing, if you want to help support the future of the channel, you can do so in a couple of ways, one of which helps you get new gear. If you are looking for new and retro gaming supplies, accessories, so on and so forth, make sure you pay a visit to my friend Ryan over at CastlemaniaGames.com. One of the cool things over there is he has a feature called Castle Cash, where the more you buy, the more you save. It's a basic loyalty program. Additionally, if you use promo code ROX10, you'll save 10% off of most items on the website. You can also support the channel financially by heading on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, you get early access to all of our video content, exclusive content, and more, just like these people that you see on screen right now. Thank you all so much. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do come out with new content, you are kept the most up to date. It's light on features, not as light on price. At $150, I think it's a no-brainer. At $200, I don't know that it is a compelling enough purchase over the original Switch. My name is Gary. This has been Rock Solid Productions and our look at Nintendo's announcement of the Nintendo Switch Lite. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.